What is up, guys? You've got the Oracle there back for round 1, and I'm a bit thinking if my deck wants to play or draw, and I'm unsure. I think I'll still play, especially since I don't know the matchup, but my deck might actually want to draw. I'm unsure. Anyway, I have a great hand. I mean, 3 lands plus, a good 3-drop creature, 2 removals, and a late game sweeper seems amazing, as you haven't just mulled to 6. Which I guess is good for us, not so lucky for them, and putting card on top, alright. I could have played that, since I don't really need... Actually, I kinda want to keep that in hand in case I only draw swamps and I need that to cast my isolation zone. I guess now I will play it in case I draw the displacer and I want to use it as soon as possible. I don't think it matters too much, but given the double white and the black, I can cast anything in my deck, so I think I figure out I might as well play that now. Like, if I draw a Slaughter Drone next turn and I want to play it and give it Death Touch, I don't think it's extremely likely, but I might as well play my Vestige now. As here, I'm gonna play my Bat, and that hand, it seems broken. Like, look at that. I can kill anything. My late game is gonna be great. That just looks amazing. I need one more land to cast that. A Matter Reshaper. It when it dies, so I think I'll end up removing that from the game. It's not too threatening, but currently I'm not racing that. I also have access to another removal, so I don't feel... when I only have one removal in hand and a deck with not a lot of removal, I'm a bit more conservative with how I play. But here I don't feel too threatened at all. And I do my land for the Sentinel, and now it's great because either I draw land and I can cast my Bane, either I draw spells and I can cast them, so yeah, I mean, it is just great. Guess I'll play that now, no reason to play second main phase, I think. And yeah, I'll continue to beat down with flyers. Yeah, that's, well, the deck is strong, honestly. I mentioned at the end of the draft that it's probably the strongest deck I've built so far in House of the Gatewatch. And I think it is. It's not... It might be not extremely stable, because if I miss on lands, or if I draw a bit too many lands, I might have issues with that deck, but I guess it's the same with most deck anyway. A Smasher! Alright. Well, that's also a strong card. Alright. Yeah. So Isolation Zone would have been a great answer to that, but because you don't have to discard. But now I guess I'll have to discard a land, which I do not appreciate too much given the Bane. Ooh. Or I can just top deck that and... Jesus, that was powerful. So it's a spell, not an ability. Yeah, so I can just tap that every turn. That top deck though. I mean, the deck is strong, but I'm drawing very well too, which does help. So I guess I'll play my Displacer and displace that Smasher. Good lord. Like, do you see any card that's not great in what I've played so far? I mean, Sentinel and Familiar are decent creatures, but everything else is very powerful. Alright, a Ruination Guide. That's fine. Guess the opponent can attack for 3 off the drone now. Ooh, that's actually quite threatening. I'm getting raised there. Well, let's do that. Actually, you can even do after they attacked. Yeah. That being said, I don't see any reason to wait, given that the opponent is tapped out. Guess I might as well do that now. And I think the opponent will attack with those, most likely. Yeah, I guess I'll go to 9. It's a little bit annoying, but that was a really good start for my opponent too. So we have two very powerful decks here. So I could use that ability. Actually, never mind. I'm just I could cast the Bane, but I feel like striking that, attacking for 8, and doing the same thing next turn is great. Those two represent only 4 damages. Yeah, that seems like the best play to me. And as I mentioned, don't really wanna strike the Smasher because of its ability. And yeah, that should be great. So that was quite scary though. I mean, I think I've played only very powerful card, but still the opponent had a very solid draw. I mean, Smasher does smash your face quite efficiently, but I think the opponent needs to deal with a lot of things here though. So yeah, let's do that here. I'll go to 5, so I guess a land and a Rolling Thunder does kill me. Okay, that's gonna be game. So the opponent just looked if I was going to use the Displacer, but that deck is, I mean, the power level is through the roof. Holy crap. We are playing a very good deck, it seems, though. I mean, I guess Aggressor is not too strong, but Smasher is really hard to beat in Limited. I don't think I want to side in anything. I guess I have... If there is a deck with good answer to the Smasher, though, it's my deck, because I don't think you can end up with a deck which has more answer than Displacer, Wall, Stasis Snare, and 2 Isolation Zones. So even if Smasher is great, I think I'm likely to possess the deck with the most answer possible to that. I mean, I'm counting answer that doesn't make you discard, obviously. And yeah, I don't think I'll ever sideboarding anything at any match, because the deck is just it's quite perfect, honestly. I'm not trying to say I'm the best deck builder or anything. It is just that I was extremely lucky during the draft. That being said, yeah, I think that's just clearly the strongest deck I've played so far in this set. And I think this deck doesn't mind being on the draw too much. I guess if I had been on the draw last game, it could have been a bit annoying, maybe. Not too much though. My hand is great on the draw though, given the Searing Light, the Slow the Drone, and I'm definitely gonna keep it. Question is, which land do I play first? It depends also on if I draw land. Well, I think I'll just play the Mire. I want to cast my spells on curve. I guess this could buy back a Displacer, and maybe keeping that would have been strong, I'm not sure. I could have maybe waited a bit. Because the ability to buy back that would be great, because my opponent is likely to have a bunch of removal for that, given that he or she is playing red. And this is nearly unbeatable when you have access to colorless. So yeah, maybe keeping the opportunity to take it back from the grave would have been great. I'm not sure. Well, the fact that I drew 2 lands in a row makes me regret that, but at the time I didn't knew that I would draw 2 lands, so there is that too. So I guess we might be able to attack there, unless the opponent use a Grip of the Royal, which they didn't. Might have the Bounce spell on the top. No Bounce spell. I guess I'll play my Sightmaster, because if my opponent does have a removal, I'd rather them use it on the Sightmaster than on the Displacer. And next turn I'm likely to play Displacer, keep Searing Light open. And yeah, I guess Searing Light doesn't deal with Mao too well, unless the opponent is tapped out. So there is that, and here I cannot attack actually I can attack, and this can be used on blocking creature, power 2 or less. So yeah, I'll be attacking, and I think I'll play that now. Yup, if the opponent doesn't block, great. If they block, it's great too, because it's gonna be a huge tempo swing for me if they block here. And if they don't block, it's also great. I mean, they would take 5. So, alright, so this is getting blocked here. I'm gonna Searing Light that thing. Quite great to deal with a Mao, which is a really powerful spell with only a Searing Light, basically. So things are looking great there. I'm not gonna lie. And after that, honestly, if my opponent doesn't have an answer to Displacer, they will straight up lose, because I can use the ability twice a turn of the Translator, and I'm already behind on tempo. Okay, well, we might see a Boulder Salvo on the Displacer too, I would guess. Maybe a good old Touch of the Void, or maybe just a Sphinx of the Surge. Okay, Boulder Salvo, pretty much what I expected. And now, I wish that I had that Mire in hand so much. Yeah. It might just have been a misplay. Guess, I don't think it matters too much. I could have played that first, so if I have to activate that during fight, you know, I can do that and have played the Translator. That being said, I don't think there's many instant creatures in blue-red, so I don't think it matters too much. Drawing Oblivion Strike was obviously great. And my deck ends up being fairly aggressive too. It's not just a slow control, controlly and grindy deck. Lightning Drone, well, that's annoying. Alright, so I guess I'll attack, and we are likely to trade the Slow the Drone for the Negator, I would assume. And that's fine. And after that I might strike that thing. Given that my opponent has access to colorless, it is strong. Yeah, I think I'll end up doing that. If my opponent wants to chump block though, I let that happen, so there is that. Yeah, having the Mire in hand would have been great. But if I had missed a few land drops, playing it on turn 1 might have been better. Alright, so I guess the opponent will go down to 4 there. I will remove that thing from the game. And now the opponent is really in quite a lot of trouble. Actually, if my opponent just play Mouth Kozilek, for example, it completely shuts down my attack. That being said, unless I draw many more lands and the opponent plays... Okay, so the opponent basically conceded there. Yeah, I think they had nothing in hand, unfortunately. So that's gonna be game. Those games were quite short and brutal, but... you know, the deck is strong. I was drawing a lot of lands after that. I'm not too happy about my Mortuary Mire play on turn 1, but given the information I had at the time, it might still have been right, I'm not sure. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the match. It was not... Actually, game 1 was quite good. I almost lost to a Smasher. I was not so high in life. And yeah, I guess it's gonna be the match. If you enjoy, feel free to leave a like or subscribe, and I see you guys for round 2.